All right, guys, so I got round 2 of mods on my 2019 Ram 2500, and I have to say a few things I'm really impressed with. Now I got about 1,000 miles on the Falcon Wild Peaks with the Raceline Gauge 950B wheels. I think these things look great. Fit and finish holds up. They've been off-road, not a ton, just a little too tracking, but they've seen some brush, aired the tires down some. I ended up going with the Thurn fabrication, 2-inch front springs with the Thurn 2.0, and you can see it's got their valving sticker right on the side of the shock. Pretty neat. They custom valve these shocks, these Fox 2.0 shocks, specific to the truck, but not only specific to the truck, specific to their front spring. So their front spring is a progressive with a I think it's like 26 to 30% less spring rate than the factory coils. I'm running the stock rear coils on the back of the truck, but I did do the matching corresponding Fox 2.0 Thurn spec shocks on this as well. But now that I got 1,000 miles on the truck, kind of getting used to it. You know, the CP3 recall was complete. In the last video, I kind of talked about some of the upgrades I've done to the truck. We upgraded the high and low beam LED bulbs. I'm pretty happy. The beam is pretty decent on it. It doesn't have any weird spottiness that I've seen on other LEDs, like especially with my 2020 Superduty. I couldn't get any LED beam, any LED headlight to put out a good beam that didn't have holes or weirdness in it. I also, in the last video, talk about the LEDs for the fog lights. I bought the factory OEM pods and then put in the front LEDs on the bottom. Really happy with that. I still haven't done a chin spoiler or valance in the front underneath the bumper, and I would be curious to try it just to see what I get for better fuel economy. But these tires, never had Falcon Wild Peaks. Absolutely impressed with the ride quality, vibration. There's no squirreliness. I'm just impressed with these tires. I'm definitely going to be recommending these to people, and I'll be real curious to see how they do in the wintertime with snow and ice and whatnot. We had to end up making our own custom, little bit hillbilly looking mud flaps, but they work, and it's kind of a joke. I thought the sticker was kind of cool, just trying it out, seeing how good it holds, but get a little forest with the motorcycle. So I thought the guys would get a kick out of that for our trip. Let's see what other upgrades. I did end up putting on the Ram step, updated the rear bulbs from halogen to LED. I didn't care about the rear bulbs for reverse bulbs, but we did do that. Did a full maintenance air filter, oil filter, or oil change, I should say, fuel filters, tires, everything's all good there now. Added in the last video, I talk about adding the tailgate assist for the rear tailgate drop. Another cool thing I did, this is pretty cheap, and I definitely recommend doing this. This truck is a low-end bighorn, so it did not come with the factory remote start. I fixed that problem. I bought these on eBay. I'll include the link, but I did a little reading on how you go about adding remote start to these 5th gen trucks. If you pop the hood with the engine running and you see the light ajar on your dash, that means you have the module. That's what I've read online, and it confirmed worked with me. You have the module you need, that all you need to add at that point with the truck to get the remote start to work is a key fob that has the remote start, and I ended up getting one that has a tailgate drop also. Spent $52 on 2 key fobs, $82 at my local dealer. Remote start works, tailgate drop works. Here we go, just for proof, two clicks, works. And if you had any question, does the tailgate drop too? Now it's gonna get hung up because of the tonneau, but here we go. There we go. So happy with that. Some things I've noticed about this truck. I don't know if this is a Ram thing, because I haven't spent enough time driving these 5th gen trucks to kind of compare to the newer Super Duty. And I'm at a Ford dealership right now. It's local and it's got some good lighting right now, but I don't know if it's the lift kit or I still got to make some adjustments with my caster after making the changes. My toe is a like 0. My caster, I adjusted the cams on the bottom of the radius arms, but this thing's got like, I don't know how to explain, almost like not a squirreliness, but like it just doesn't want to track straight. I feel like I'm constantly going down the road, just putting a little bit of input into the steering. I'm going to play with that over time. I'm not necessarily blaming it on the 5th gen RAM yet, but it is something I'm noticing that new Super Duty will not do that. I've never had any Super Duty, lifted or not, that gives me that handling tendency. So that's something I'm going to kind of keep an eye on. Power wise, I said it in the last video about the RAM and the Cummins. This motor, I mean, you buy a RAM HD for this engine. I mean, it's literally just that simple. The Cummins has got a great reputation, great resale, great power. Don't know how to explain this, my first Cummins. But there's something weird about how this thing makes power, that it feels really strong. Like the numbers this thing puts out is 850 foot-pounds of torque and 370 horsepower, which is, 50% less than the high output Powerstroke that I came from. But it's just got this calm, low-end, instantaneous power that I feel like my Powerstroke didn't have. I don't know if it's because it's the inline 6-cylinder. I don't know if it's what the whole deal is, but this thing just feels really solid, like great torque. And honestly, I love the way it makes power. I kind of am addicted to it. The thing I also love about the Cummins is just the sound. I mean, it's just got the classic Cummins sound is just so cool. I've now, like I said, I put about 1,000 miles on this thing. Some things I've noticed. So my buddy Mike with the 2022 F350, we did a few fuel mileage loops just to compare. Consistently, his 2022 F350, computer to computer, got about 10% at least better fuel economy than this truck. Now he's not running 35s, he's running 33.5s. He doesn't have an air dam in the front, also like me. He's not lifted or leveled in the front like me. On the highway, it was like we were seeing 3 to 5 miles per gallon better with the 22 F350 Powerstroke. We both had a dirt bike in the bed of the truck. So he's gonna be putting probably these tires on the truck, 35s. So it'll be interesting to compare once he does that. But I do think that the Powerstroke gets a little bit better fuel economy. But the way the Cummins, I don't know if it's the inline 6-cylinder nature or what it is, but the way this thing builds power, I actually prefer it to the Powerstroke, even though the numbers are faster. And no question about it, the Powerstroke acceleration, it's not even close. Anybody that tries to even argue it, you just can't. The Cummins just does not have the acceleration of the Powerstroke. But the way the power is built, if you're just looking for a chill experience, I like this more. This feels more like a big block-esque, how the power comes on. Exhaust brake. Here's another big, huge pro to the Cummins. Destroys the power. Even my 23 Super Duty with the new high output motor, it's still got better exhaust braking. So, that's another thing that I think that, RAM has done really well on. Another thing for me personally, what I like about this truck better than the same cab configuration on a newer Super Duty, this thing is drastically shorter of trying to get into parking spots or in my garage. It's unbelievable how much easier this truck is to maneuver. That second row is like easily 4 inches shorter. So the downside is it's clearly way less legroom for passengers in the second row, which I'm not a fan of that part. And the bed being 4 or 5 inches shorter, just for perspective, you wouldn't see this on the Powerstroke or on the new Super Duty. I mean, the cab is literally, the rear child seat is literally like right up against the front row. So that's another thing that is not ideal. But overall, I think these trucks, if you could find a 5th gen RAM for the right price, this is a high value diesel truck. I mean, I got a good deal on it, and this is gonna be a family and just kind of go-getter beater while my other truck is on order, which might take a year. And the more I drive this thing, the more I like it. I really have to say, it's a nice truck. It's nowhere near as premium as my 23 Super Duty, but to be fair, the 23 Super Duty was a Lariat Ultimate, and this is a base level Bighorn. So if this was a loaded out like Longhorn Limited, I think, or Laramie, this would be a nicer truck. But pretty happy so far, got 1,000 miles on it. Gonna be monitoring the DEF consumption, gonna be pulling the snowmobile trailer, getting all the sleds ready for the season. So I'll take a video of that too. These Thurin valved 2.0 Fox shocks with their spring and these 35-inch tires, I can arguably say I think this is the best riding 3/4 ton truck I've ever driven. I'm not gonna call it a half ton because it's not, but it's definitely approaching half-ton level comfort. So I hope you enjoy the video. More videos to come, but I'm really happy with the mods I've done so far. And this suspension, the Thurin fabrication, is awesome. Considered going with the Carli suspension. The reason I didn't, to be fair, was when I called and asked for some questions on, you know, just a little bit of technical specs on their kit versus the Thurin. Thurin gets the shout out because honestly their customer service is top notch. The guys are really nice and they're helpful. I mean, the guy was even texting me like, hey, you should try this combination and blah, blah, blah. The Carli guys didn't really even seem to want to talk. They were almost like annoyed that a customer was interested in buying their product. Just kind of turned me off. I'm a fan of Fox shocks. I mean, I've been running them on snowmobiles, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, mountain bikes, Ford Raptors forever, and I think their products just work. And you can obviously get Carli suspension with Fox shocks too, but I like the springs with the Thurin. I like the Thurin spec Fox 2.0 suspension, and their customer service was on point. So hope you enjoy the video. I'm gonna have some more of this truck to come soon.